everyone, it's Desiree. Day 20. Oh, so close. I really didn't think this was going to be able to be finished, but I am determined whether I can get them in by Christmas Day or not. You will see them all. So on this one, I am going to focus on Newton's Nook. It's one of the smaller stamp sets, so it does have a better price point for some. I loved that whole look of the names of the reindeers. It makes me sing the song in my head. And then the possibilities of being able to add Rudolph. So this is called Reindeer Roll Call. And I just think it is really cute. You can create some great backgrounds with those stamps that are on the right hand side. So what I'm going to do is I am using a piece of Bristol cardstock, and I'm going to set the sentiment down first. And I'm going to prep it with my anti-static tool, and I'm going to use my Versamark ink, and I am going to stamp it a couple times to make sure that I have a good impression. Now, I have already, I have not used one of my frame dies yet. I like to keep this paper this size because I may want to change where I want to put my die, my frame die, and so forth. So this is, I just take the full sheet of the Bristol and I cut it in quarters. So this is 4.5 by 6 inches that I'm working with. I'm using my white embossing powder from Recollections, and it is called Snow, and it is fine detailed. And I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like others as well. But for this font, I was okay to use that one. This isn't super fine. Once that's set, I'm going to grab a piece of scratch paper, and I grabbed 3 of my Oxides. I love my Oxides. Oxides, yes, they are my favorite for techniques. I'm using Chipped Sapphire, Faded Jeans, and Stormy Sky. So using my mini blenders, I'm going to start in the center. And I'm going to work my way out. I want the center to be, or I should say, the center of the sentiment. I want that to be the darkest, and I'm going to come out with these 2 other colors. What's going to go next to the Chipped Sapphire is Faded Jeans, and around the outside, and I'm literally just filling in. I'm actually coloring. It's awesome. With the Stormy Sky. Now, I could have used my Nuvo blending brushes, which I absolutely love. I like the size. I like the way they feel in my hand. They're not tiny, but I didn't want it to be soft. I use the blender brushes when I don't want a lot of pigment down, when I don't want that solid coverage. If I just want the sense of those colors back there, that's when I'll use those brushes. When I want a lot of color and I want it to move and I want it to just stand out, I will go towards my mini blending tools just to get all that color down quickly. Once I have the blend the way that I want it, I will come in with my micro cloth and just clean up the sentiment. When you do that, you will cover that up because you're going over that. But just using a cloth, it could be a paper towel. I don't suggest a baby wipe because, again, these are water reactive. You're going to move it. So something dry, any type of dry cloth. That's clean. I'm going to use my Distress sprayer, and I'm going to let this dry on its own. I am not one to lift up the water. Some cases I do, but it's very rarely. I love just spraying this and watching it oxidize. That's why they're called Distress Oxides. I just love the look. I still have the same color. Sometimes I find if I spray it and lift up the color, I get a different color. It's really weird, and sometimes it's not enjoyable for me. So, or eye-pleasing. So, I'm going to put this panel after I used my Favorite Things Wonky Stitch Rectangle die. Yep, she's coming back. It's my favorite die. I'm going to put it back in my stamp positioner, and I want to stamp the one reindeer. because we gotta have Rudolph. I'm going to use my my scoreboard, and I'll use my tonic paper creaser. That is my favorite paper creaser. There's going to be a video showing all of this stuff. I'm almost done it. Just things I like to think about. Just to set my standard A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 top folding. I grabbed some fun foam. It does have adhesive on the one side, and I'm using my 2-inch film tape that I get from Uline that I absolutely love. It's unforgiving, so you got to make sure you go down right where you want it. So just a fair warning, unforgiving, but I love the strength that it has, especially for watercolor panels, fun foam, and so forth. I only use it for specific applications. I grabbed my wax pencil, and we are going to go to town with the sequined iridescent blizzard. Let's call it that. I'm adding a red sequin down onto the tip of the reindeer, and I'm going to fill that sequin in with some Ruby Slippers Nouveau Drop, which are glitter. I could have just gone straight on with the Ruby Slippers glitter, but I wanted to make sure that it was a solid red. Sometimes you can see through their glitter drops, so I wanted it to be red. Going to town with my art glitter glue. I finally got some in. I was lost without it. I do love the Nouveau adhesive. That's really the other one that I will use. But I love my art glitter glue, and I missed it. So we are back in town with that, and here is the iridescent blizzard of beautiful sequins. I love adding sequins, especially the iridescents, because to me they do change their color to what you're putting them on. So I think they're very versatile. Gems would be beautiful. Snowflakes would be beautiful. Anything that you want to put on. A white gel pen would have been beautiful on this. But I do, after I put sometimes where my sequins down, I do like to follow up with some Gold Coast Nouveau drops just to fill in, help secure them down in case I didn't get crazy enough with the glue, and set that in place. And that is our card. Very simple. But I think it's really different. It's cute. So I hope you'll give this a try. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below. Thank you so much for sticking with this series. I know I'm running a little bit late with it, and I do apologize, but technology, it's an awesome process. And I learn something new every day. And what did I learn? I need a new computer. Yes, absolutely. All the products that I did use for this video will be linked down into the video description. And while I'm catching up, please, I'm not going to have a blog post on each one of these. I will post on Instagram and Pinterest. They are simple, but one blog post is going to come out to show all of these videos at once. If you haven't liked, please make sure you do. And if you haven't subscribed, you want to make sure you do that as well to see what's going to be upcoming in 2019. I hope everyone's having a great day, enjoying the holidays. Don't get stressed. And if you do, remember what you can do. Always be creative.